innovative way of thinking. It's something which is really important when we are thinking about different tools related to citizen participation or civil society organization participation as well. So what is the beauty in that term and in our work when we are trying to organize the participatory way of doing is that we really can be very creative and very innovative all the time. So you don't have like 10 or 20 different tools that you can use and that's it. So it's always a huge space to organize it and to think completely in an innovative way and to organize some new and to try new activities and to try to be a more efficient and more related and in more in relation with other people. So all different manuals and all different code of practices and all different knowledges might actually be a good ground for all of you just to expand your way of thinking how you can organize that kind of activities. So what we are going to present you now is just a brief presentation of different tools that you can find in this code of practice. And as I said, this is not a recipe for how you will do. This is really just to open your mind and your way of thinking, how it might be organized. So some of the recommendations from the documents, and you will find that in this printed material and also on the website, you have really like a clear matrix which can help you to organize different activities related to different processes, and a little bit explained how you can organize it, and it will be easier for you if, of course, you're using that kind of instructions. But just to see, for example, some recommendations, if we are talking about the agenda setting, you will see that what they are proposing is the role of NGOs and the role of public authorities and the space where you can use actually the processes. But what the more important is to emphasize actually that during the agenda setting, role of the NGOs is in advocating, information and awareness building, expertise and advice, innovation, service provision, and all of these aspects we already listed yesterday through our work. If we are talking about the tools, you remember that we just mentioned that we have like 3 levels of participation, possible level of participation: information level, then consultation, dialogue, and partnership level. Within each of these, some of the tools are different. On the information level, if we are talking about this agenda setting, access to information and sharing the information is crucial, and as a opportunity actually for the people to be, first of all, involved, or for the organization to be informed about different processes, and then as opportunity to build on that some next steps and to organize different kinds of activities. If you're talking about the dialogue, you have several like hearings and public forums, citizens forums, and forming the councils or some kind of stakeholders group, working groups who can help you directly to have a direct contact with civil society organizations, or if you're talking about how civil society organizations can organize their work with the citizens, and how you can involve the people actually in some more direct way in your activities. Through this document, they defined also like a working group or committees as a partnership tools that you can work together actually on some issues, and during the different phases that we are mentioning here. If we are talking about the drafting, what we didn't mention maybe enough yesterday when we started to list and to brainstorm about different tools are all of these mechanisms, which means like a different organization of different advisory boards, different working groups, different stakeholders committees and that kind of stuff. And this is something that you can pay attention also, especially if we are talking about this higher level of participation of different different stakeholders. In all of these phases in decision-making processes, the tools and mechanisms that you can use are more or less similar. What is important to have in mind actually is when you organize the participatory activities, the first question that you need to raise is why I would like to organize, why I would like to involve organizations or other people in different processes. So this is the first question, and after that, what will be the impact, what we are expecting from that. So those two questions actually will help you to organize, to find the right way to organize participatory activities, and on the other side, to think about that, how you will use all this information and what will be the best way actually to gain, to force people and to motivate people because you will have opportunity also to explain them the purpose of their involvement in different activities. From that position, then with all of your innovative approaches and with all of your creativity, you can think about the right way. The second, of course, important question is are the resources. So what kind of resources is available for you in terms of your resources of your organization, and what is actually the realistic that you can organize. Sometimes we are very ambitious and we would like to organize it very broadly, the participatory processes, and to involve different mechanisms and to involve different people, but sometimes this is absolutely impossible. So focus on the purpose of the activities. It's something that you should have in mind, and then if you think about the focus of your activities and the resources, those two informations will help you to organize it in a most appropriate way. Sometimes it's better to have some more limited activities than to have too ambitious activities if you can't organize it in a quality way. So it's better to have it limited than to have like a very, very broad, and then to don't have any idea how you will go and how you will finish all of this and how you will collect all of this information on. This is the one problem that you can face with will be this fake participation if you go too broadly and if you don't have that kind of awareness, what kind of resources you actually have. Otherwise, all of these tools and mechanisms are pretty much similar for all of these phases. Just degree of involvement of the people might be a little bit different. Sometimes if you are talking about decision-making, campaign and lobbying as a direct mechanisms are more appropriate even of that informational level. Then if you are talking about the agenda setting, for example, it is not necessary for agenda setting or for drafting of some idea, it is not necessary to have that kind of activities like to lobby, like a public or some specific groups. Sometimes it's enough to inform people, to invite them, to do some kind of assessment, some kind of research of their needs, and then to involve them more directly in different processes. Otherwise, as I said, like the level of different activities are pretty much, the tools are pretty much the similar for each of these phases. If you are talking about, for example, implementation, you will have like consultations, for example, through conferences, through different forums, through different seminars. You will use trainings also as